Hi, and welcome to my first March vlog. My god, it feels weird that it's already March. Anyway, for this vlog, I am going to be reading books that have been mentioned in TV shows by my favorite TV characters. But yeah, so anyway, there are many TV shows out there, but some of my favorites have specific books that have been mentioned. And so I'm going to kind of read those. Yeah, I'm going to read those and then give you my thoughts on them. I'm terrible at explaining that idea. But the point is, I have 5 books, I think. Yeah, 5 books that I've selected for this vlog. I purchased 2 of them physically. I have a couple of audiobooks, and then I have one as an ebook because I'm not actually 100% sure I'm gonna like it. Anyway, yeah, so one of my favorite shows, I have a really weird liking for like crime police documentaries, and one of my favorite shows is Criminal Minds. And so I'm counting this as like Spencer Reid, but also the show as a whole. All the characters I enjoy in that. But they did a whole episode based on one specific book. And so I purchased it and I'm going to read it. And that is The Collector by John Fowles. Now I have no idea what this book is actually about, but I've purchased it. And yeah, but I purchased it and here it is. And then the other one that I own physically is another show that I really like is Supernatural, and there are a couple of episodes when Dean has mentioned in passing a couple of books, and so I'm counting that as a recommendation. And one of them was Aesop's Fables. Well, he didn't so much mention this, but he did reference it in the conversation, so I counted that as a reference. I've always intended to read this anyway. But yeah, Aesop's Fables by Aesop. And then another one that was recommended by Dean Winchester on a different thing was Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt something. I don't actually know how to pronounce his last name. I will look it up when I get to that section in the clip. Yeah, when I get to that section in the video, I will look it up. But at the moment, I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, Slaughterhouse 5 was also a Dean Winchester recommendation. Now, audiobooks wise, there was a picture, there was like a screen cap of Scott McCall in Teen Wolf, and he's reading The Call of the Wild by Jack London. So I've thrown that in. Why not? So I've thrown that in. Why not? And the last book that I'm going to be completing for this vlog was actually what inspired this. There's a whole Friends episode where Joey and Rachel read each other's favorite books. I could have read both of them, but I had already read Little Women, was what Rachel recommended. So I'm not going to reread that. But Joey recommended The Shining by Stephen King. So I've always been hit and miss with Stephen King. Like, I've liked some of them and then I haven't liked some of them. But I've been told that The Shining is one of his better ones. So yeah, so those are the 5 books that I'll be attempting to read for this vlog. And yeah, so I will check in with you once I've actually started reading, once it's officially March or I've officially started reading something. Bye.
It has to be at least 283 pages long. I've read a poem has to be long. Something published in 1963. A butterfly indigenous to Great Britain. Why? Something from Great Britain. Medieval. Chaucer. Chaucer was Middle English. Middle English spelling the word fowls. F-O-W-L. Yeah. There was a contemporary British author, Fowles. John Fowles. Will you type that into a search engine?
He wrote The Magus. He wrote The French Lieutenant's Woman.
Anything in 1963 published in Great Britain?
The Collector.
Collector. Baseball cards, skeleton keys, music boxes. These are things that are collected.
Read.
Hi. So it is officially the 1st of March. So the first official day of this vlog. And I'm sitting in this position because it's really hot and I'm not actually wearing any bottom half. So you're only getting to see this. So you're only getting to see this much of me. Anyway, I have started The Collector by John Fowles. I am 66 pages in. And there's no actual chapter breaks in this, so it's really hard for me to be able to tell when to actually stop reading so I can pick it up properly. It's actually quite an interesting story so far. I'm only 66 pages in, but everything just happened like straight away. It's basically like the story You by Caroline Kepnes. It's kind of a similar vibe to that. This guy meets this girl, obsesses over her, and then eventually locks her in a basement. But yeah, but this guy kind of skips the kind of length he did. He goes straight into the kidnapping. Like, he doesn't stalk her for very long and then goes straight into the kidnapping. He's basically the mindset of if he kidnaps her, then she'll fall in love with him. I will say it's bringing out a really strong fear of mine. I actually in real life I actually get claustrophobic, and this room that she's in, there's no windows, no doors, no way in or out, and so the idea of that to me is terrifying because I'm claustrophobic in real life. In a weird way, I relate to the main character, like not the kidnapping part, but I don't have any other friends part. And I feel like I used to feel like the only way I would get friends is if I held them hostage. But anyway, it is actually very well done. I'll give it that. Well, like I said, it's kind of an adult, but it's kind of similar vibes to You by Caroline Kepnes. Yeah, but overall it's quite a good read so far, and I am enjoying it. Yeah, so that was my update for this book. Bye. Hi, so it's the next day and I have finished The Collector by John Fowles. There was so much messed up about this book, but weirdly, I loved it. Like, it's good writing. I still stand by the fact that it's very similar to You by Caroline Kepnes, but it does throw in her point of view as well. Yeah, so most of it's his point of view, and then it does switch to her point of view halfway through. Yeah, so it gives very You by Caroline Kepnes vibes, but yeah, it was very well written. There weren't a lot of characters, so at least I didn't have to keep track of who was who. But yeah, I really enjoyed the story, and I do understand why this was in Criminal Minds, because my God, the thought process of this man. I don't want to give any spoilers, but it is quite a dark story route. But yeah, I actually do kind of recommend this, just so that other people can experience the craziness of it. But yeah, this is probably a 3.5, 4 stars. I haven't quite settled on it yet, but I'll see you guys. Actually, the next clips you'll probably see are of the concert I'm going to tonight, but they'll probably be phone clips because I'm not going to lug my camera up there and I'm probably not going to be able to take it in anyway. But yeah, I will catch you guys in whatever comes next. Bye. Okay, I'm just going to do this update in the same position on the same day, but you're probably not going to see this until I put in that section into the video. But I also listened to almost all of The Call of the Wild by Jack London today. I'm at like 83% of the audiobook. But yeah, anyway, I actually think that it's quite an interesting story. Like, it's more told from the dog's perspective. Like this dog whose job it is to like dog sled across Alaska. And it's about his feelings about being swapped between like owners, you could say, and being forced into the role he has. But he also has the loyalty to the owners that he does have when he has them. But yeah, I do think it's quite good. I don't really have much else to say about it right now. I'll probably just give you a final review at the end. But yeah, so these are the updates that I have for you today. I don't know if you'll see me tomorrow because I'm going to a concert tomorrow night. And then, yeah, so we'll see if I can get an update done before that. But I'll see you when I see you, I guess. Okay, so it is the next day. You would have seen the footage from the concert I went to last night. Teenage me just fulfilled one of the biggest dreams I ever had, which is to see that band live. But I did only put the clips in because, one, I feel like I'd get copyrighted, and two, you don't need to hear my god-awful singing that accompanied those clips. But anyway, I did also finish my audiobook for Call of the Wild yesterday as well. And my thoughts on that? I thought it was good. Like, it wasn't outstanding, but it wasn't terrible. So it's gonna sit at a 3. I didn't like the abuse of these, the kind of abuse of these animals, because it's like, when they're done with the dog, they pass them off to another person, but no one actually treats them like pets. They're just a bunch of working animals. So I didn't appreciate that. But yes, anyway, it's a 3-star. It's fine. So I'll move on to the next one, and I'll be back with you once I have that. Bye.
Why do you have a copy of The Shining in your freezer?
Oh, I was reading it last night and I got scared, so.
But you're safe from it if it's in the freezer?
Well, safer. You know, I mean, I never start reading The Shining without making sure we got plenty of room in the freezer. You know?
How often do you read it?
Haven't you ever read the same book over and over again?
Well, I guess I read Little Women more than once, but I mean, that's a classic. What's so great about The Shining?
The question should be, Rach, what is not so great about The Shining?
All small, plump men. The part in his hair was exact, and his dark suit was sober but comforting. I am a man you can bring your problems to, that suit said to the paying customer. To the hired help, it spoke more curtly. This had better be good, you. There was a red carnation in the lapel, perhaps so that no one on the street would mistake Stuart Ullman for the local undertaker. As he listened to Ullman speak, Jack admitted to himself that he...
Okay, so it is about 2 hours later, and I've started The Shining by Stephen King. I don't own a physical book, I'm doing this by audiobook, so I'll just put the cover on the screen. So my initial thoughts about this book. Stephen King seems to have a thing with his main characters being writers. And why do so many of these kind of books always have a psychic child element? I don't know. I don't know where that's going to go. But that's my initial thoughts. Is why is there always a psychic child in these books? and why is it always, most of the time, that his main character or someone in that book is a writer? But yeah, I've been hit and miss with Stephen King, so we'll see how this one goes. But yeah, I am liking it so far, actually. So yeah, those are my initial thoughts about The Shining. I don't have much else to say at the moment, but yeah, see ya. Okay, so I have listened to a bit more of The Shining now. I'm now 12 pages in, and they're now at the Overlook, and Danny has just found out about the powers he possesses, which is apparently what The Shining is those powers. And yeah, like this character, Halloran, he put a lot of pressure on this 5-year-old child. And why would you tell certain stories about this house you just moved into that could frighten any 5-year-old? But yeah, it's quite good so far. Like I said at the beginning of this, or I think I said it at the beginning of this video, yeah, I'm hit or miss with Stephen King is hit or miss for me. So The Shining is kind of like the last chance I'm giving him. But I am liking it so far. So yeah, I am enjoying it so far. It gives me similar vibes to how I was enjoying Misery, and that turned out to be one of the other like long ones I like. But yeah, I am enjoying it so far. I don't really know enough about the dad yet. The focus has just been on Danny, the kid. But yeah, I will update. I am enjoying this so far, and I will say, with all this stuff, when you move into a new place and you learn about all the spooky stuff that happened in it, why would you still choose to move into it when you've been warned that terrifying things happen in this house? I feel like they've brought this on themselves. I feel like they brought whatever's going to happen on themselves. But anyway, that's my update so far, and I'll catch you guys when I've listened to more. Bye. Hi. So I don't know how many days it's been since I updated this vlog, but I am now a decent way through The Shining. Sorry about that. Through the audiobook of The Shining. I am actually really still enjoying it, and it's finally gotten to the point where Jack is having the house like take over change his personality. His wife thinks it's to do with a different situation, so she's so it's at the point where both her and Danny are hiding from Jack. But yeah, it is quite good. It is still quite good. But again, a part of what he got angry about, I did relate to, like people like telling him what, like a lot of people bossing him around, telling him what to do and being lied to. I feel like that would make me snap a bit as well. Just not in the same sense that, just not to the same level that Jack did. What, do you want to say hello? Well, maybe not. I guess not. Anyway, I'm determined to finish my audiobook today, so I'm probably just gonna get out one of my puzzles, do a puzzle whilst listening to the audiobook. I'm determined to finish this so that this vlog can get up and I can still be on track with the other video that I was intending to film. But yeah, anyway, the next angle you see, I will be setting up my puzzle. But first, yeah. Okay, and it is a couple of hours later, and I have finally finished The Shining by Stephen King. I really actually quite enjoyed this one. In true Stephen King fashion, there was parts when it was a bit of a slog, but yeah, I did actually really enjoy this book. And just seeing Jack's sanity slowly overtake him and then his slow descent into madness. Yeah, I feel like it was really well done, and it was one of Stephen King's better books. Is it gonna make me read more from Stephen King? No, because his books are way too long. But this was a good book. I'm gonna give it a 4 stars, and I'll move on to well, for me it's the final book, but I'm filming these clips out of order, so the next clips you'll see are one that I actually already finished, like physically, and I'll catch you guys in the clip that comes next and my closing clips. Bye. Okay, so update. I just finished Slaughterhouse 5. And so, because it was the Dean Winchester wreck, I decided to dress like Dean, so I rocked the flannel like the Winchesters do. But yeah, I didn't really update much as I was reading it, because the ebook that I found was actually the graphic novel, so I couldn't really stop, update, and then keep going. So I just smashed out the whole thing. But I did like the story. It was more just like what the actual heck was happening, because it went from like I know that it was like time traveling, and that was the idea, at least in the graphic novel version that I read. But yeah, there was like aliens, and then suddenly he was in New York, then suddenly he was in hospital, then yeah. But I did enjoy the vibes. It was a solid 3-star. But yeah, so Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Vonnegut. Yeah, so I'll give it a 3 stars. Not much else to say, so by the time you see this, I'll only have one book left, which is the other Dean Winchester, because I'm filming these clips out of order. But anyway, yeah, the next one you'll see is the other Dean Winchester wreck, which is Aesop's Fables. And because that's the shortest one, that's going to be the last book that I read for this. Bye! And I finished Aesop's Fables, which means that I can finally call this vlog finished and I can put this up. But I'm not really going to rate this because there's not really enough of a story to have a solid rating. But they were well done fables. They weren't very long, so it was a quick read. But yeah, this was officially the last book for this vlog, so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.